This video shows a method of obtaining a person from the water using a spinal board. The Anderson's turn is usually performed inshore, and the Williamson's turn is usually performed offshore to maneuver the vessel to reach the person in the water. However you get back to the person in the water, communicate and brief the crew on their roles. Prepare the spinal board, towels, first aid kit, and defibrillator as required. The vessel needs to be completely stopped and door opened. When two crew members are on the deck, the first should be communicating with the person in the water while opening the door, and if possible, hold the person in the water by the life jacket or shoulder. The second person should be preparing to deploy the spinal board. It will go into the water vertically behind the person. The narrower section is the base and will align with the person's legs. Watch out for the buoyancy of the board, and some practice is required to stabilize it in position. Each crew person has one hand on the person in the water and one hand on the spinal board. Once the spinal board is aligned with the person in the water, both crew persons lift and lever the board against the vessel. As the level passes its pivot point, the person is brought in horizontally. Check the person's legs are aligned on the spinal board. When in position, commence the lift. Continue to communicate with the person in the water. Use the board as a lever to help get the person back on board.
Okay, we're pulling you up now. Coming on board.
Key points. Prepare equipment on approach including the spinal board. When alongside the person, stop the vessel completely and open the door. Slide the board vertically into the water behind the person. Communicate with the person and each other. One hand on the spinal board and one hand on the person during the lift. Lift together, levering the spinal board to do the work. Brief the skipper on the person's condition and carry out first aid if required.